How do you feel when you look at the picture of the book cover?
I think this story is sad.
What is a tune?
A melody, especially one that is simple and easy to remember.
Why were people in Rhodesia unhappy?
They were unhappy because Rhodesia had too many rats.
Why did the townsfolk become rude and nasty?
They hated the rats, but they couldn't get rid of them, so they became rude and nasty.
What is the name of the traveler?
His name was Bo.
What did Bo look like?
He was tall and skinny with red hair.
What is Bo's only possession?
His only possession was a pipe.
What is the name of the waitress?
The unhappy waitress was named Crystal.
What happened when Bo began to play his pipe?
Bo surrounded by rats.
Why did the townspeople not pay the money?
The townspeople were selfish and did not want to pay.
Why were the townsfolk frantic?
Bo take all the children.
Right, because every child in Rhodesia followed him. What happened to the mayor's daughter?
The mayor's daughter shrank. Her front teeth grew big and sharp. Her long, smooth legs became short and hairy. She turned into a rat.
Right. What about other children?
One by one, every boy and girl turned into a rat.
What happened to the children of Rhodesia?
All the children were gone and Rhodesia was again full of rats.
And what is the moral of this story?
A promise is a promise.
Bo changed the children into the rats. What do you think about that?
I think it is right.
If you were Bo, would you have punished the townspeople? If
Yes,
so, what would you have done?
I make children into mouse and adults into cat. Once upon a time, there was a small town in England called Rhodesia. The people who lived there were unhappy. They were unhappy because Rhodesia had too many rats. Big rats, medium-sized rats, and small rats were everywhere. They lived in the houses. They lived in the shops. They even lived in the schoolhouse. The rats smelled bad. They ate the people's food. Sometimes they even bit the children. As time went on, the townsfolk became mean to each other. They hated the rats, but they couldn't get rid of them, so they became rude and nasty. One day, a traveler walked into Rhodesia. He was tall and skinny with red hair. His name was Bo. His only possession was a pipe. People watched Bo walk through their town and wondered about him. Not many strangers visited their rat-infested town. Bo went into a pub and asked for a cup of coffee. The waitress looked at Bo. She wondered if he had any money. Sir, can you pay? She asked. No, said Bo, but I'll play you a tune on my magic pipe. 1 tune for 1 coffee. The unhappy waitress was named Crystal. Rats were in her place too. Maybe a tune will make me feel better. Crystal thought. Okay, mister, here's your coffee. Now play. Bo lifted his pipe and began to play a sweet love song. The song made the waitress cry. And then something strange happened. Crystal looked up and saw Bo surrounded by rats. Bo kept playing his pipe. He slowly walked out the door, and the rest followed him. Soon every rat in the pub was gone. The townspeople saw what had happened. They told Bo about their own rat problems. They asked him to get rid of their rats too. Yes, I'll take them away, Bo said, but not for free. You must pay me. How much? They asked. 100 pounds, 200. We'll pay anything you want. 50 pounds, he told them. The townsfolk looked at each other and grinned. Only 50, that's cheap, said one man. It's almost nothing, said the mayor. Do it, they cried. Get rid of our rest and we'll pay you. Bo began to play again. He walked through every street in Rodentia. Everywhere he went, rest came running. They ran out of the buildings. They followed Bo and his music. Bo slowly walked out of town, followed by thousands of rats. It's magic, said Crystal. Yes, it must be, said an old man. Bo and the rats disappeared in the distance. For the first time, Rodentia was free of rats. The next morning, Bo returned and asked for his money. The mayor looked at him and said, "What money? Why, the 50 pounds you promised." "We never promised you anything," he lied. "The townspeople were selfish and did not want to pay." Bo did not argue. He just walked away. A year later, the townsfolk had forgotten about Bo and his magic pipe. One day the waitress heard something outside. She peeked out the window and saw Bo playing his pipe. Suddenly, children began running toward Bo. Every child in Rodentia followed Bo through the streets. Women cried, men yelled. The mayor hollered at his daughter. They all told their children to come home, but they didn't. They just followed Bo and his magical music. They were going away forever. The townsfolk were frantic. The mayor ran to Bo and fell to his knees. "Please, Bo, don't take our children. We'll pay you what we owe." The mayor was crying. "Mr. Mayor," said Bo, "I remember your last promise. How do I know you'll really pay me?" "Oh, we will," he cried. "These are children, not rats." A strange look came over Bo's eyes. They glistened and turned red. He raised his pipe and played the same tune he had played the year before. All of a sudden, the children started to change. The mayor's daughter shrank. Her front teeth grew big and sharp. Her long, smooth legs became short and hairy. Then the same thing started to happen to all the students, all the child. One by one, every boy and girl turned into a rat. The mayor screamed, terrified at what he saw. Bo kept playing until he was surrounded by rats. He turned and walked through the town with the rats following. At every house and shop, a few rats left Bo and ran into the buildings. Soon Bo was alone. The rats had returned to their homes. The townsfolk watched Bo walk away. Far off in the distance, they heard his pipe. But then the music ended. All the children were gone and Rodentia was again full of rats. And it was full of rude, nasty people. But it wasn't full of children anymore, not one.